Well, in Ukraine, tensions appear to be deepening between President Volodymyr Zelenskyy and the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. Media reports say the president tried to fire General Valery Zaluzhnyi, but he refused to stand down, and there's no immediate obvious replacement.
The president and his general, in a show of unity last summer, inspecting newly delivered anti-missile systems, presenting a united front. But as the war dragged on and a much-anticipated counter-offensive against the Russian invaders failed to turn the tide, tensions emerged. At the end of the year, Zelenskyy said that the army had presented a plan to him to mobilize up to 500,000 more troops. That is politically risky, even though soldiers at the front line have been on duty for months or even years without a break. Opinions in Ukraine are mixed.
We should activate any of our capabilities and resources. My husband has been at war since February 28, and my son-in-law is at war. I see a very large number of examples of people sacrificing themselves, who go to war following the call of the heart.
Mobilization is something that brings neither health nor joy to anyone, only war. Zelenskyy has cast himself as the president fighting an unpopular move. But General Zaluzhnyi has refused to take the fall for the unpopular mobilization proposals. And the Ukrainian parliament has refused to debate measures to increase troop levels, leaving much-needed fresh troops missing on the front lines. And elections that were originally set to be held this spring have been suspended under martial law. But Ukrainian media outlet the Kyiv Independent says that in private opinion polls, Zaluzhnyi would run a close second to Zelenskyy in a presidential matchup. All of which adds to the atmosphere of intrigue in the halls of power in Kyiv.
Let's explore some of these issues with Oleksiy Goncharenko, who's a Ukrainian MP for the opposition European Solidarity Party. He joins us from Kyiv. Welcome to DW. Can you help us with the confusion about whether or not the president has asked General Zaluzhnyi to step down? Do you know what's actually going on?
What I can confirm you that President Zelenskyy on Monday spoke with General Zaluzhnyi and proposed him to resign. Zaluzhnyi refused to resign voluntarily, but he's ready to to execute the order of the president. But for the moment, there is no decree about Zaluzhnyi being sacked. So as for me, I'm concerned, as millions of Ukrainians, about what's happening between President Zelenskyy and the top military general Zaluzhnyi. I would ask them to find a common language, to find a solution, because it's quite a personal thing between them. They're just lacking some chemistry now. It can happen in any place, but I hope they can find the solution and will go public together, as you are showing now in pictures, showing that they're united and ready to work together.
Right. So
if this will not happen, there is a possibility. There is a possibility that Zelenskyy will sack Zaluzhnyi, will fire Zaluzhnyi in the nearest days.
And so you see this as personal rather than operational. This is about them not getting on rather than General Zaluzhnyi not being good at his job.
No, I think General Zaluzhnyi is good at his job, but the president definitely knows better. He knows the situation more than me, but I think it's personal. I think it's about personal emotions and between them. So that's something they should deal with this. But in the best interest of Ukraine is if they would find a solution and language between one another and would work further and fight further together.
Right, and just looking at the best interests of Ukraine, we have seen that the counter-offensive has stalled to a bloody standstill. The army has supply problems at the front. I wonder, should the responsibility for that fall on General Zaluzhny's shoulders? Perhaps he should go.
Again, I don't know the details which can give me a possibility to speak about this, but I want to tell you that counteroffensive, Ukraine attacked Russians having no advantage in number of troops, no advantage in the air, but opposite, with the Russian superiority in the air, against entrenched positions, against minefields. So really, it would be an absolute miracle if Ukraine would have more results than we have. But we have results in the Black Sea. We stopped and exhausted Russians. We destroyed a big portion of their Black Sea fleet. We are pushing on Crimea. So we have a lot of really successes.
Understood.
But you can't demand a miracle from a general.
And where are you on this question of mobilization? Should more Ukrainians be called up?
First and the most important for me is to identify and to determine the term of service, because that's something we are lacking. Today, hundreds of thousands of Ukrainians are fighting already for 2 years, somebody even more, and they don't know when they will come back home. So I propose the bill, which I think should be the best answer. Just 18 months of service, then change, rotation system, vacation, and that would help to mobilize people, because they will understand their perspective. Because today, being mobilized means that you will be in trenches all till the end of hostilities, all before you will be killed, all before you will be heavily wounded, which is not something which can motivate people. You can agree with me, I think. So That's why we need such system.
Okay, so you need a fixed term, but as well as a fixed term, you need numbers. So would you be in favour of further mobilisation?
Definitely. With a clear system, we can have numbers too. We will have a motivation for people. They will know the rules. Rules should be simple, and they should be universal for everybody. That's the question of fairness, and we need to make the system, and I am ready to support it. Definitely. We are in the war. We need people, but they need to know how it would look like their future.
That's very clear. Thank you so much for joining us and outlining that for us. Ukrainian opposition MP Oleksiy Goncharenko. Thank you, sir.